a series, um, Passing by 33 with Dean Hayes. And I want to take you through a few things. Hi, Dean. How you doing? Hope all is well on your end. I'm feeling a little sick the last couple of days. I don't know if I ate something or I'm coming down with something or what, but I'm going to muster through this, just 15, 20 minutes of shooting the shit, showing you a few things. As you can see right here, what I'm already working on is I'm printing up moon photographs. So I have a bunch of moon photos that are on my computer. I download them at free will, and I'm going to suggest to you all, anybody coming to my channel, to do this. It's going to help you in a big way. I usually do portions of this about the moon and going into the moon throughout my series, but not usually at the beginning of a series. But with you guys, I think this is going to be fine. I'll start addressing Danny as well. Over you hear the printer already printing this photo of this moon. And what I do is I grab moon, and you can grab these moon photographs from anywhere. They don't have to be your own. But I'm also gonna suggest to you to get your own and do your own videos and photos of the moon. And I'm going to just explain a few things real quick and why it's so important for you to do this. Even though it's photographs and video, your eyes will capture the same thing. You won't even need the telescope. By the time you're done, you won't need the telescope. Once you start looking at it all and you know where everything is, then you can just look with your eyes and look up at the moon, and that's the way it was supposed to be. And this goes for anyone that's watching. There's no secrets about it. The 7.8 billion zombie slaves, that's us, we hide this from ourselves because it's really not hidden. It's all been there all along. We've all refused it. So one of the ways that you get to see things better and more easily and more clearly, and they become a reality, is you have to look for yourself. Otherwise, what I'm going to be showing you over the next, whatever we get for a series, 200-part series, everything that I'm going to show you is only going to be entertainment unless you go look for yourselves. So you have to start somewhere. So what I'm going to say to start to do is to go ahead and print yourself up moon photographs, reverse telescopes and standard telescope photographs first, and video as well that you can keep on your computer, or just go look at on your computer. And have them there. You don't even have to save them to them. But if you go taking your own videos, then we'll get into that in a minute. But what I mostly want to point out, and some very important things that sometimes in my series, the video either gets deleted, which may happen with this video, who knows. Have a bunch of moon photos around you all the time. Have one by your computer. Have another one in your car spinning around on your dash. And the reason why you want them to be able to be spinning by putting a hole in the center is because everything's about angles and distances of perspective. So when you're living your regular everyday lives, you're going to be looking at this moon spinning around wherever you want to spin it. Like I said, on the dashboard of your car, because every little different angle and distance of perspective is going to change the images. So you'll see a couple thousand images you might catch at the particular angle that we're at now. For example, let's see, I have to go way down low. A good example, see how it's all glared out? It's all glared out because of my angle. So if I want to come down lower, that's a photograph, that one. But this one down here is on the computer. So when I come down lower and change my angle and distance of perspective, then I can see everything very clearly. Okay, and then what I'm going to say is that when these moon photos are spinning around you all the time and you're looking at them, you will just start seeing different images because you're changing angles and distances of perspective. Now, some people I've seen over the years will have a moon poster with every stage of the moon in it, and I'm looking at them, and I've been online with people that have had those posters. And it's fucking amazing that they don't see it. Even when I'm pointing out to them, say, look behind you in your poster. Do this with your camera phone, I'll explain. Change your angle, come down here. I'll even give them pretty approximate angles by talking about the dark areas of the moon compared to down here that they call the Sea of Tranquility and all. It's all bullshit, man. They lied about every fucking thing. So we can see the truth and the reality to it all. And the moon is a very big place to start because the moon is so much more important than what we were told it is for everything that I'm going to be showing you, for us going forward. Our children need to know this information, and they're not going to ever learn it because even the one parent, you're going to be fighting over your kids because your wife or husband is a dumbed down zombie slave, and you're going to have to, they're not going to want them to know reality. They're all part of the fucking scam. And then you're going to realize that it really is 7.8 billion, and we all in on it, man. We all in on it. It ain't no one political party. It ain't no one fucking nothing. It's all of us. We are something. Anyways, try to stick to the story here. Okay, so what I'm going to be showing you just in this video real quick is a few things about the moon. So that's number one, is that print them up, have them around. Reverse telescopes, standard telescopes. I'll explain in future videos why that is, why you want standard and reverse telescope photographs, okay? A few ways that I do this. Once I get them printed up, they're coming hot off the printer, okay? Once they get printed up and they dry, because they're not dry, and I didn't crop it either. I should have cropped it. I'll crop them so that they fit into the paper. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. No big deal. Point being now is that put them into a self-adhesive sheets. Once they dry, I'll print up good ones. And then I put them in these sheets. Right, you flip the sheet over and you get it so you don't have any wrinkles on it. It'll eventually wrinkle anyway. And the eventual wrinkling is another part of this that you can prevent. That is, put one on top of the other. So once you get the face on this plastic and you tear the sheet, flip it over onto another sheet so you have plastic on the front and the rear. The reason for the plastic on the front mostly is because of the reflection aspect of it. It's going to act as a very minor, I always say magnifying glass, and I get it wrong, magnifying glass. A very minor magnifying glass just from the clear plastic. It acts as that. So when you're coming in for your angles and distances of perspective, once this moon photo is inside that plastic, and I can show you on many of the other sheets of plastic that I have around with these moon photos in them. That's why when I'm bringing you and showing you, I know exactly what I'm looking for. My camera can go right for certain images, and I can start cropping them for you. I will do all that. But it's still important that you guys have these in your possession all the time and always be looking at them. We'll get into the clouds, we'll get into the trees, the rocks, the stones, and the human skin, and all the other places where you can digitally collect the EMNC, but the moon is a very important one. The moon is the false creator / creator's electromagnetic nanocarbon regulator when issuing souls to the bio realm, as I explained in an earlier video that I will include in this series. And then another reason for the moon is it acts as a clock. It's the false creator / creator's clock. And there's something to what's happening right now with the awakening that's happening right now. And the awakening's going really shitty for us, for the people that are not willing to go along with it all. Even though there are still millions of people waking up all over this earth, it's like nothing. It's like a drop in a bucket compared to the 7.8 billion zombie slaves who want to insist on their own enslavement and the enslavement of their children and their families as we go forward. So if we don't fix this, we're looking at, just to let you know, we're looking at another 10,000 years of fucking tyrannic shit, man. So we need to all wake the fuck up and go look at what it is I'm showing you. What I will eventually start showing you is I will start, and you'll, once you have the moon in your possession all the time, and you're able to spin it around, and you're going to put light behind it, and you're going to learn the lights and shadows, and you're going to learn all the images, even the ones in the Sea of Tranquility, and ones that are even harder to see and easy to, okay? One thing you got to learn is about the Sea of Tranquility, all the timelines coming out of it. I'm going to show you the, what I call the lakes of tranquility, the ponds of tranquility, and the puddles of tranquilities. All these puddles, ponds, lakes, and and the Sea of Tranquility. Now, the Sea of Tranquility, of course, I just stole from the Lion motherfuckers, right? Because that's what they call it. So I just used theirs and then continued on when I found the rest of the lakes, puddles, and ponds and whatever. So I'll show you them. You can actually see them, and you can follow the lines around. And these lines crop certain images based on these timelines. You have, matter of fact, I can't claim to have figured out all the timelines, but I got some pretty good guesses on how it goes. So somebody like Danny coming into all this and having other eyes on it, I'm sure it'll go a lot quicker. But I got the gist of it. I was originally all backwards on the timelines. I thought the larger lines were going to account for the longer periods of time, like the ones coming out of the Sea of Tranquility, for example. For all these lines that are coming out of the Sea of Tranquility, they go all through the moon, right? Some of them have cutoff points. They cut to the right and then they go up again, and they do all kinds of shit. So when you start following these Sea of Tranquility timelines, I was assuming that those were going to be the ones that were going to be for the longer time frames, and it may turn out to be that, but it seems more now it's the opposite of that, because those large timelines are being cut off by the smaller timelines. The cutoffs are going also out to the moon, but they cross over the large timelines. So in other words, if we want to get down to seconds and minutes, I have to go all the way out here to the outside of the moon. You can digitally collect the imagery all the way from around here, which also, by the way, collecting the imagery, I call it digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the area we call the moon. And when you come out to these edges, and I'll do this for you guys, and you start collecting around here, you're going to see what's going to work out for, again, everything we were told, we were lied to. So we always think of seconds as being even 0, 1. There's no such thing as, look at the fucking images, man. This is the wizard right here. See the eye, nose, big fucking pointy schnoz. His mouth is right here. See him? I'll try to crop him for you. The light's got him just right. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. When the moon is there in front of you all the time, you'll just be doing shit and you'll see the images. And then now that I'm showing this to you, you'll have the confidence to claim these images at that particular angle, at this particular distance, with that particular amount of light shining on it from that particular angle and that particular distance. Because of course, if I I'm going to fuck it up, right? Because I'm changing my angles and distance of perspective, and I'm going to lose my lights and shadows for that particular image going in and out. Every little move is going to make a difference. Okay. So all the images that are out here, the lines are going this way, right? Out through it. So when I got the big timelines coming out of the Sea of Tranquility and going around, you have all the lakes, ponds, puddles, all accounting for other times. Now, this is the reality time that I'm talking about. None of us are going to know this reality time at all, because all of our time has zeros in it. We, as human beings, have put zeros in our fucking math. Like, unbelievable dumbed down zombie slaves, and infinity for that matter. So I'll mention that. The images that make up the moon are not infinite. There's nothing out there that is infinite. Matter of fact, when Danny comes into all this, he's going to lose calling it a solar system. He's not going to call it a solar system anymore, because once you go and look, you're going to realize how badly we've all been lied to about all the models, the heliocentric model, the geocentric model, and any that were before it. It's a hologram. No, it's not. It's a matrix. No, it's not. It's none of the. Now it's an avatar. It's an avatar. No, it's not. It's none of those things. It's none of the things that they would even let come off the lion-ass human tongue. They were not going to ever. But I'll compare it to this. I heard Danny mention something about God not using the human tongue to communicate. You're just going to know shit. You're just going to see it, and then you're going to know it. That's the same thing I was trying to explain to you guys over the last 7 years. That part is definitely true. Danny got that down pat. except it's not a God. It's a true creator. The true creator's builders build everything in here. The false creator / creator is responsible for a good part of this system, but you can see when the false creator / creator comes into the picture, math starts. And math does not start, there's no zeros in the true creator's work nor the false creator / creator's work. These are very important things, because if we're going to start using our human lion ass math to put this clock together, to know the real clock, and we ain't gonna get anywhere. We're gonna still keep spinning round and round for the next 10,000 fucking years. Okay, so printing up the moon on plastic, in plastic, you print them up, right? That's my first little bit of advice for you, and I'm gonna try to get through this video fairly quickly. Another thing that's fun to do, and I would recommend it, you buy these fabric transfer sheets, right? They're clear plastic. You print them up on the printer, and then you put them into the clear sheet, and you have a clear moon. So all the images, and I have some laying around. Matter of fact, I used one for the moon map model. I'll bring you in on this model later. I think Danny will really appreciate this. If Danny even comes into all this, we'll see what happens, but it's right in there. But sometimes I get into it. I just don't have time right now, nor the energy. All right, so now I got you printing up moons. You're putting them in plastic. The second benefit to having them in plastic and having them clear is great, but you don't have to. White is fine too, because you're going to be sending light from behind and in front to change your lights and shadows. And I'm going to show you all kinds of shit. So it don't really matter. You don't have to do the fabric transfer sheets, but it is something fun to do, and it's a little different. And it also confirms to you, you just got to make sure you don't fuck it up. Matter of fact, if anybody out there listening wants to do that fabric, I'll do some more videos on it, but I did videos on it in the past. There's just some little tricks to it. You're going to smudge it. If you put the iron on for too long, you're going to smudge it. So of course the imagery is not going to be the true creator's imagery. It will be a smudged, human influenced form of the true creator's imagery. So that's why, I'm sending you to do a lot of different photos and videos of the moon so that you can compare one to the other to make sure you're not seeing shit. Just like when your computer fucks up. I got one. I think it might be this one. I got a couple of them actually that they came out a little bit egg-shaped or have human influence in them. So I recognize the difference in the images, but nobody else coming along will, because I have every angle. Well, I'm being cocky, but I have every angle of each image that I know of in the moon, and then millions of others that I don't even want to be bothered with at the moment. So I know how much capacity I have to hold it in memory, and therefore I don't go for a lot of the smaller stuff. I don't go for things that are hard angles to find, where I got to keep fucking banging my camera down on the desk in order to get them better for you and shit like that. I just learned over the time, like that one's always one of my favorites. That's the one I was bringing you guys in on last week in the video. And he's got, I don't know, I never counted, but there is an actual amount of how many images are within image, within image, within image to get that prick really good for you. And change him up in so many different ways. In other words, color. Am I sending light from front to rear? Am I sending light from rear to front? Changing my angles, distances, lights and shadows, blah, 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 right? And then when you're doing it on a computer screen or a computer monitor, the light's coming out at you, where if you're doing a photograph that's on the desk, the light's heading towards the photograph of the moon, okay? So these are all really important things to do, because what it's going to do is, while we're looking at clouds, while we're looking at rocks and stones and other shit like that, you guys will have these moon photographs laying around, and you will start seeing them, because I'm not going to be talking when I'm doing these moon videos. I get too aggravated about it. Maybe if someone comes along that really has interest and really starts seeing it and really gets on board with it, okay, fine. And if Dean and Danny end up being those guys, I hope the fuck so, because we're way out of time. We're way out of time. But to try to keep fighting the system to get the messages out there, it's impossible. You're fighting everyone. You're fighting all the mainstream media people that I call out, fighting all of the fucking gangsters of the government and every agency efficiency, and it's ridiculous, you know. So someone like myself isn't going to get very far. Okay, so I explained that part. Next is this. Let's see. How am I going to do that? Yeah, something like that. And I need a drink and I need a smoke. So give me a second. Okay, cheap $10 tag sale telescope. Cheap $30 camera that's at its wit's end. I have to reboot it and shit every time, so I don't really use this camera that often. But because I already broke up all the plastic around it, gluing this eyepiece on over the years, whatever, 2 years or whatever I've had this camera. So what I'm doing now is I'm glue gunning this eyepiece, and I should turn the light on so you can actually see what I'm doing.
Power on.
Yeah. So I've done this so many times that it becomes second nature. I know not to overheat the camera when gluing it down. I know not to go up too high with the glue up the eyepiece, because if I do, then when I go to put the eyepiece onto the telescope, of course, it's not going to go down all the way, and it fucks up the viewing and all that kind of shit, right? So there's all these little stupid shit that'll happen. But talk about cheap shit, right? So I'm talking about a total of value today, $10 worth of shit of what it's worth today, right? So it doesn't take anything to go do these videos and photos of the moon, and it's so important. So why would something that's so important, why would we all be overlooking it? Why would millions of us, 7.8 billion of us, not be looking at the moon the way that I'm about to show it to you now? You have to ask yourself that as we're going along, because there's no fucking reason. There really is no reason. It's so damn easy to just go look for yourself. In other words, what I'm accusing you all of is that because you already know. You already know the truth and the reality, probably better than me. But the problem is you've been totally fucking enslaved, and you will not come out of your enslavement. You insist on your own enslavement. Think about that, what I'm saying. Seriously, really, anybody coming to the channel, think about what I'm saying. Because if you're going to refuse to go look at the moon and see it for what it is, you know you can get your hands on a telescope. You all got money coming out your ass, according to you. I mean, you could buy a $100,000 fucking car, but you can't go buy a cheap telescope for a couple $100. Bullshit. Camera, you don't need to, and I've had people come to me over the years I've done series with, and they play games when it comes to this moon photographing and moon video shit. There's no reason for it. The only thing you're showing me, maybe not anybody else coming along because they'll be in denial as well, but to me, all you're doing is proving that you're just an agent of the state, whether you know it or not, because there's no reason why you can't do this. So making up excuses like, oh, I got to get some better equipment. I got to have good shit to go and look at it. And I got to order this and I got to order that. And it's coming on Amazon. Nah, man, you don't need shit. Fucking glue gun. Everybody's got one. A cheap telescope. You can get one at Walmart. You can buy the cheapest one at Walmart. I think $75. You know, there's nothing to this. Okay, so we're right now in the process of a waxing moon. So during this waxing moon, I'm going to go out and start doing videos and photos of that moon that's coming through right now. I will shoot the shit a little bit here and there, but it's nighttime usually, and the neighbors are all freaked out over what I'm showing people and stuff like that. Inside, you know, it's not like they're yelling out their window at me or anything, but inside, you can just see how suspicious they all are of what the hell I'm up to all the time. All right, so I'm going to be glue gunning that on. And I'll have that camera ready for the next 15, 20 days, okay? And then telescope's ready, that's ready. I'm now printing up, and I will properly print these up. I'm going to be wrapping them in the plastic, and I don't know if I'll do any plastic ones because I think I only have 1 or 2 of those left. And I only like to use them for certain things, for making my models and stuff. But anybody else out there, I would highly recommend it. And again, you're going to a lot of different moon photos because you want to be able to compare them. You want to be able to compare them when doing all of that, okay? What else did I want to talk about? I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. I don't have pause on this camera. So what I'm going to do is just double checking around to make sure I'm not forgetting nothing. It's just really important for you guys to have all these moons. How many? I don't know. As many places you have one in the bathroom, fucking spinning around on a nail in there. Seriously, have it right in front of the shitter on the wall, spinning around. Yes, they're gonna call you crazy and everything like that. Don't worry about it. Believe me, they're gonna see it too. Anyone else sitting on that shitter, they're gonna fucking see it, and you're gonna learn to put them on angles. I put them on wires like this so that I have control, so I can angle it at different angles. So when your family goes in to use the shitter and you start changing the angles and distances of perspective for them, they're going to see it because the light in the bathroom is going to bounce. Yeah, the light's in the same place every day, but as long as you have control of being able to move that, that's why I put a wire. There's a copper wire, and I put nails and screws and whatever, and then put the wire around it so that I have complete control of where that moon is facing or not facing, and how much light it's getting on it, and where the light is picking. Is it picking up light from the outside window? If so, that's not as good as a light that's just coming from one side, because it's all about lights and shadows. Danny, you're going to understand these lights and shadows when I start showing it to you and explaining this to you. You're going to get it right away. I've already heard you talk about it, but you're just talking about it in another way. I will mention to Danny, if you do come along to these videos, which I hope you do, you can thank Dean for hooking us up, because that was really good. And I would also say that you're going to catch this, like I've been telling Dean, really quickly, Danny. You're going to see it right away, and you're going to realize that a lot of the things that you're talking about, although truth to them, are not the ultimate truth. They're not the all knowledge. It's not knowing, right? And I still have a lot of things that I don't know yet myself. There's a lot of them, like I was just explaining about the timelines. I know that they're timelines, but I don't have the complete gist of how they all work. And which ones mean what, and what ones, what means what time. Now, in the True Creator system, it's a no-brainer, because the True Creator's time is all one. In the True Creator system, time is all, everything is all one. There's no separation anywhere from the veil to the ground that show in the True Creator's work that shows me anything other than feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only. Although, when we get to the moon, I'm going to show you several body images. And then when I get into showing you those body images, you can say, what the fuck's he talking about? Well, when you start looking at zillions upon zillions of images per day, everywhere you are, and it's going to be no big deal anymore, then you're going to know why I'm saying feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast faces only, even though I'm going to show you a few body images in the moon and possibly even in the clouds later and that kind of shit, all right? And I'll explain it to you even more in detail of why that is, and where the false creator/creator got his idea when doing his division, because that's the math that the false creator/creator started with division. Divided himself from the veil, divided himself from the true creator's work, divided the up from down, divided left from right, divided back from forward, divided in from out, divided male from female, divided positive from negative. He's the great divider, is the false creator/creator. That's the creator of the bio realm. The true creator is responsible for everything, including the false creator/creator's build. Everything that the false creator, and just everything, and it's all one. And you can see that. You'll see that when you notice that there is no break in the true creator's work. Any breaks that you think you see are not going to be there. I'm going to take that illusion away from you now. You're all going to lose that illusion that there's a break between the clouds and my hand. You're gonna now understand that monitor, or even things of human influence, which I will not do. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to do it now, because I don't like doing that. Nothing with human influence. Fucking humans are lying motherfuckers all fucking day. You're going to see that from that stone to my hand, all the way to where you're sitting. I don't know where the hell you're sitting. You could be in Arkansas. You could be in India right now watching this video. And I'm telling you that fucking connection between that stone right there and my hand going through this fucking... Nah, it's not going to go through the camera. It's all around us. And that connection is going all the way to you. the camera's human influence, so the camera's not sending the connection anything more than a human digital square pixel garbage shit. The true creator's energy, that rock, this hand, to you. I'm pointing out my window. Out to you, okay? Put your hand up in the air and look at your hand, and know that that rock has just touched you, right? Because I'm explaining it, because I'm telling you about it. Now you're gonna have an appreciation, and you'll understand what I'm saying when I say that's how you have evidence, that because you're gonna see it, because I can take you in on that rock and show you feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I can go like this with my hand, put some light behind it, and show you feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, faces only. And then I can get you to stick your hand in front of your camera, wherever you are, post it, and I will digitally collect the EMNC from your hand, and then you'll start understanding what it is I'm showing you. So to have the moon photographs all over the place in both angles in distance of perspective of standard telescope, reverse telescope, is going to be a big help, and it's going to help everybody to see it for themselves. You guys will start seeing it for yourselves, and when you're able to start matching the images that you see on one and onto another, it'll force you, because you're going to fight it. I guarantee you're going to fight it. We are the 7.8 billion zombies. I'm sorry to keep saying that, but it's important that you all realize that, because that is what has happened. That's why when someone's sitting on his shitter looking at this moon photograph, they're going to see it, but they're going to refuse to admit it. They're going to say, no fucking way. I was told that I live on a spinning wet pararocket ball, and I'm flying through the vast of outer space at 10,000 miles an hour, and the moon is going around us at 2,500 miles an hour, and we're spinning at 1,197 miles an hour, and blah, 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 bullshit. It's all been a fucking lie. So in order to get that lie out of your mind, you need to go see the reality. And I know my angle's back up, so the screen moon, you're not getting shit on the screen moon, but these other ones you can see. And again, goes to prove my point when I'm trying to explain to you about angles and distances of perspective. And it's the same thing with looking at that moon through this camera right now, or even that one, is the same thing I'm telling you about looking it up in the sky. I can see all the images. I can, from here, if I could reach that moon on the board right there and start spinning it, I could bring you in on all the images and show them all to you, even the really small ones, because I already know where they are, so I can get in there on them. Of course, from the ground without a telescope, it's going to be all the large ones, the large images that I'm going to be pointing out to you. I'm being a little sarcastic here, but I don't know what the chances are of everybody waking the fuck up. I don't know, man. I'm just going to ask that anybody coming to the series as we're going through to do that with the moon photographs. Start with those. Doesn't cost anything. I'll start putting my telescope up in the sky, and we'll get some moon videos. As a matter of fact, I'd like to go see. So they started trailing this morning, but didn't pick up until about an hour ago. So let's see what that's doing now. If there's anything, I'll put the remainder of the camera on here. Let's see which way these are going. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. Those last 10, the last 10 to 20 videos I just did, that I just posted, some are on Michael Oziak, some are on Miguel Everyone, some are on Right to Reality. Some of them are copied from channel to channel. Those are awesome videos, man. There's no way any of you are going and watching them videos and not seeing what it is I'm showing you. There's just no fucking way. You're in denial. Okay, no filter on the camera. But if I stay here, the dog's gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna come back out in a few minutes and go get something to drink. I gotta get some water or something. I don't feel like shit. There's trails all over the place, but I'm just looking for certain areas. I always playing with the lights and shadows. As I'm doing this, I'm always doing that, and I'm not really that conscious of it. It's not something I talk about, I just automatically do. So when you're looking at the camera and you're just watching this as an entertainment video, you're not going to realize that. You just see all of a sudden the light picks up, and people think that it's, I don't know. I don't know what anybody's thinking there. I don't fucking know. It's in there. You can see it. You can see it. You're just in denial of it. I mean, look at a huge face right there, right? I can crop them for you. I mean, there's many faces in there, don't get me wrong. There's other ones down there too. I mean, at least hundreds. In that little area, there's hundreds of images that your eyes can capture them all. And another great thing about the clouds too, just like the water, when you're doing the river, when I'm collecting from the river or whatever, is that you're watching the builders work. You get to watch the builders work, and you have a bigger appreciation for it. When you're watching the builders work to build a human or a cat or a dog, it's going to be very boring for us because they don't build according to the way our eyes would like to work, I guess you could say. In other words, we want instant gratification. And I can give that to you in the clouds and the water because there are billions of images all being built very quickly running through the camera. But if I put my hand in front of the screen and just collect from my hand, look at this shit. I can see it. I can see because I got light from the sun. I can digitally collect the EMNC from my hand. It's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm going to center right on that image's nose right there. Of course, my hand has human influence in it, but you don't realize it, but the clouds do too. The clouds are all human influence too. Everything pretty much does, but wait till you see how much. When you get to the question and you want to ask yourself, why is it only feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast? Wait till you see the fucking answer for that. Wait till you see the answer for that one. Oh boy, that's going to be a lot for everyone to handle. I'm going to leave that there. I'll be back. There's no light over here, but I might be able to get it if I don't put a filter on, or if I put a yellow filter on, and it'll be better because I can pull the camera out to get it. Let's see. There somewhere. Yeah, maybe the green filter might work here. I have an HD sunglasses that I cut up and made a filter out of, and that's the one that you guys seem to like the most. And the yellow one, which is an alcohol bottle. I don't remember what it was, but those seem to be the colors that everyone is most attracted to. But they're not seeing the imagery still, because everybody that's messaging me, my subscribers are picking up, but the messages I'm getting are telling me they're not really seeing what I'm showing them. So unless they come to a video that I'm starting to explain things, they're not gonna really get it. And then to make it even worse than that, as soon as I explain things, they're gonna run. You know what I mean? They're gonna fucking run because they don't want to admit it. They're part of the scam, and then to tell them that they're part of the scam they're in total denial of that, you know? What do you mean I'm part of the scam? All right, folks, no, no, no. Yeah, it's all of us. It's all of us. You'll see. You'll see if you go look. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the other filter. Let's see. Oh, come on, goggles. Goggles. Goggles, you're a bad girl. Get out of here. I don't know if I can get this on camera or not. Let's see. Can you see her? There you are. I don't know if you can see her face. Fucking cat was trying to, must have got knocked it out of his nest. Okay, be calm, girl. I gotta put this filter on. This is an HD filter. It's just a pair of sunglasses. Yeah, and see how it brightens things up? Because it's already getting dark out. It's about 8 o'clock at night. But this is even better over here. I just gotta watch out for this bird. Don't worry, I'm protecting you. Don't worry. You don't have to jump down. I think it's gonna be too dark out though. I might be better off not putting no filter on. I don't know. It's hard to say. And you know what, too? I'm glad I just noticed is that the moon is not waxing, it's waning. Looks like it's got only 1 day left on a weaning cycle. You see what I mean? Angles and distances of perspective. Lights and shadows, lights and shadows. I hope they got her. Did your mother get you or what? I gotta go check her. Gotta get her. Poor bird. She's still in the basket, screaming for her mother. And I gotta get that cat. Otherwise she's gonna get her. Too dark now. Alright. I'll be back.